they said they support you. And so, because they support you, and we have already endorsed you, and we nominated you, you don't need to preach to the converted. Just step forward and then take leave of the Senate. And I wish you luck. It's one Senate. One Senate. That's what I'm saying, one Senate. But if there's something I wanted to mention, but you people are not going to allow me to mention it. Will you allow me? Okay, so I won't mention the fact that Senator Napoleon Bale will be very relieved that he is going into the federal cabinet. Next nominee. Distinguished colleagues, we have before us distinguished Senator Abubakar Atiku Bagudu, CON, immediate past governor of Kebbi State. Your Excellency, welcome to the Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I mean, if you can give us a summarized version of your resume, and then your colleagues will now have the opportunity of asking you to enjoy your privilege. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Excellency, the President of the Senate, Senator Godswill Akpabio, the Deputy Senate President, the other Senate leaders, distinguished senators, especially my brothers from Kebbi State, Senator Muhammad Adamu Aleru, Senator Dr. Yahya Abdullahi, and Senator Garba Medoki. Your Excellency, thank you for varying your rules to stay longer hours in order to help in confirmation hearings as requested by Mr. President. Today I was followed here to support me by the Kebbi State Governor, Dr. Nasiru Idris, who has been with me since 8 a.m. and thank you for allowing him into the chambers. Equally, the National Organizing Secretary of our party, Alhaji Bello Muhammad Argungu, as well as other leading supporters from Kebbi. Your Excellency, as you have rightly introduced, my name is Abubakar Bagudu, the immediate past governor of Kebbi State, 2 terms governor of Kebbi State. Before then, I was a member of this hallowed chamber, the 7th Senate, and earlier than that, I served 2 years from 2010 to 2011 as member of the 6th Senate, where I replaced distinguished Senator Muhammad Adamu Aleru, who in 2010 left the Senate to become a minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Equally, in this period, I was called upon and honored by my colleagues to serve as the chairman of the Progressive Governors Forum, in addition to a number of ad hoc assignments, which include being vice chairman to President Muhammadu Buhari in the National Food Security Council, which is a council that was designed to ensure that Nigeria keeps an eye on food security. Equally, I was the vice chairman of a presidential initiative to ensure that artisanal gold mining that is fraught with a lot of criminality rather than the opportunity that is in it is organized and made to help us organize the sector in order for the sector to contribute its fair quota to our nation. Equally, I have handled a number of party assignments, most especially being twice the chairman of the campaign committee of Ekiti State gubernatorial elections. And just recently, I was one of the 2 nominees of the president, as he was then president-elect Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, in the Presidential Transition Council. Your Excellency, I provided all my schooling and all my employment history, from lecturing to working in banks to being a World Bank scholar and having a stint at the World Bank, IMF in Washington, and as well as interest in a number of companies, and while serving at one time as a special assistant to the Honorable Minister of Finance, Kalu Iduka Kalu. If time permits, Mr. President of the Senate, I can continue or I can stop there. Thank you. Thank you.
Distinguished colleagues, we have before us Senator Bagudu, and he has given a brief of himself. Is it the view of the Senate that he takes a bow?
Yes.
Is it, Senator? Distinguished colleagues, we have before us the immediate past governor of Zamfara State, Bello Muhammad Matawale, MON. Distinguished nominee, if you have anything to add to your resume, just summarize it briefly for the information of the general public and for the knowledge of all Nigerians. The floor is yours.
Your Excellency, the President of the Senate, Your Excellency, the Deputy Senate President, the leadership of the Senate, Your Excellency, permit me to name my senators from Zamfara State, especially the former governor of Zamfara State, Senator Abdulaziz Yari Abubakar, and Senator Sabiau, and Senator Ikra Aliu Bilbis, distinguished senators. My name is Bello Muhammad Matawale, a nominee from Zamfara State. Your Excellency, let me thank Mr. President and the Commander-in-Chief of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu, for nominating me to be one of the ministers in the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And let me thank His Excellency, the Senate President, for admitting me to this chamber for confirmation and screening. Your Excellency, sir, let me thank my former colleagues who are here with me and my friends like Senator Hassan Mohammed Gusau, Senator Binta Masi Garba, and the former Deputy Speaker of the House, Babangida Nguruje, Honorable Khadija Bukar Abba, Honorable Babagana Tijani Banki, and Honorable Mohammed Ahmad Sani. Your Excellency, I'm a former member House of Representatives from 2003 to 2015. I was the Chairman House Committee on Ethics and Privilege of the House from 2003 to 2007. And from 2007 to 2011, I'm a former Deputy Minority Whip, together with one of my colleagues that is here, Honorable and now Senator Ali Indume, and Senator and the former Governor of Sokoto State, Aminu Waziri Tambuwal, and my friend, Honorable and now Senator Kau Sumaila from Kano. Your Excellency, in 2011 and to 2015, I'm the Chairman House Committee on National Security and Intelligence of the House. In 2019, I became the Governor of Zamfara State. This is short of my resume, which I believe all the senators have my resume with them. Thank you, sir.
Distinguished Senator Yari.
Thank you very much, Mr. President of the Senate, as the chair, my distinguished colleagues. I remain Abdulaziz Abubakar. I represent Zamfara, Mr. President, and from Zamfara State. My brother, a friend, colleague in the House of Representatives, my colleagues, you have heard of him, and as a privilege, Mr. President, we all of us from Zamfara State, we have met and agreed to adopt the nomination of Muhammad Bello Muhammad. So therefore, I requested Mr. President and my colleagues to allow the privilege as read by the leader of the Senate to take bow and go. Mr. President, I so submit.
Distinguished Senator Yaradua.
Thank you, Mr. President, sitting as the chair. Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, I am Abdulaziz Musa Yaradua, representing the good people of Katsina Central. I'm from Katsina State. Mr. President, I rise to support my brother, His Excellency Senator Abdulaziz Yari, that the nominee before us, having qualified to be one of those that should take a bow, I want to submit that this Senate, my distinguished colleagues, we should allow this nominee who has paid his dues. He has been a member of the House of Representatives. He has also been a governor, and he has told the path of those that have set records in this country. Having lost his election, he conceded defeat just the way the former president, Goodluck Jonathan, did. And I think he has made history, and it is the hope of this Senate that we get more people like them, more politicians who will act, when they are defeated, they save the nation of resources of going to court. So on that basis, I want to support what my brother, His Excellency, has mentioned, that we should allow him to take a bow and go. Thank you so much, Mr. President.
Honestly, the gentleman before us is a politician and also a gentleman. And I've heard from you, but he mentioned so many names. As principal officer, he worked with the likes of former Speaker, former Governor of Sokoto State, and also worked with the distinguished senator from Kano. So I will spare the former Speaker. But let me hear from Ismail Akawu, whether he has anything to say before he takes a bow.
Mr. President, my dear respected colleague, I am Suleiman Abdurrahman Kawu Sumaila, OFR, representing Kano South Senatorial District. Mr. President, quite all right. Bello Muhammad Matawalle is our colleague from 2003 to 2015. We served in the 6th Assembly with him as leaders of the House of Representatives. Muhammad Ali Ndume, Senator, as a leader, minority leader. I am a deputy minority leader. Of course, our former speaker and our Oga as a deputy chief whip of the House of the Representatives. Our current chief of staff, Pemi Baja, was a member of that leadership. I don't have much to say about Matawalle because we are very close. I know a lot about him. Jokingly yesterday, he told me that if for any reason any senator asks him a question, he will refer the question to Senator Ali Ndume because they are very close, they work together. I don't know, most of us, we don't know what they are doing before they came to the chamber of the House of Representatives, more especially if motions to do with opposition came in the floor of the House of Representatives. Quite all right, we commend our president, our dear president, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, for appointing one of us, which we worked together with him for almost 2 decades, 20 years we are with him. And even when he is a governor, he do a wonderful job in curtailing the security situation of Zamfara State vis-a-vis Northwest. A very versatile politician, a philanthropic, a business tycoon, a good friend of the National Assembly, Dr. Bello Muhammad Matawalle, the Matawalle of Maradun, and I can't even mention his traditional titles across the Niger, even beyond Nigeria, Niger, Senegal, and other places. Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, the Senate. Thank you for approving one of us to be member of the Federal Executive Council. Thank you. I so submit, Mr. President.
Thank you. Distinguished colleagues, even from the way you are speaking, it means you were itching to speak. So, Deputy Senate President, you've also been a landlord of the National Assembly, and you have a veteran of the National Assembly. Rang off so that he can now take a bow.
Barrow Jibrin, Kano North. Mr. President, I'm speaking on behalf of former members of House of Representatives who are in the current Senate. I've been mandated to tell this Senate that the nominee before us is someone that has paid his dues to the National Assembly of this country, to his state of Zamfara, and the entire Nigeria. That is a man of integrity, someone who has the passion to always work for his state and his country. And that we should not hesitate to confirm him to be the Minister of Federal Republic of Nigeria. That we are very sure that he will do his best in making robust contribution as a member of the cabinet of our dear President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. That we should support him, and we urge all our colleagues to support his confirmation. I say submit, Mr. President. And without further ado, they should be allowed to bow and go. Yes.
Wanted him to bow and go, you would not have continued the long speeches. So the reality on ground is that it's a familiar thought for him. He looks forward to meeting all of you. He has worked with you for a long time, and he knows all of you. And he had told me outside before I came in here that if there's any difficult question, I should please refer it to Senator Ndume. So, Senator, the chief whip of the 10th Senate, distinguished Senator Ndume, is there any difficult question so far?
Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, sir. I would have spoken, but maybe in a closed session. But since I'm not, he knows, Tambuwal, starting from him, he knows what happened. Kau knows what happened. Leader knows what happened. DSP knows what happened. You know what happened. Yai, where is Yai? Is you know what happened. You want to know? No. For that reason, Mr. Chairman, I beg you that after taking a bow to the Senate, he should take a bow to us. And let him go.
By the privilege of the Senate, let us know what happened.
Everybody wants to know what happened.
Is it the view of the Senate that our brother and immediate past governor of Zamfara State, who graciously conceded defeat and stopped unnecessary expenses in court, should take a bow now and take leave of the Senate? Is it a view of the Senate that we should also commend Mr. President for bringing veteran politicians with integrity into the cabinet of the Federal Republic of Nigeria? Yes. We don't take a bow. Please. No. The nominee. Yes, please. Approach the chair. We have not yet confirmed you. So do what Senator Ndume said. Senator Ndume, Chief Whip, you said when he's leaving, he should also bow before those of you that know that have an idea of what happened that time. So go ahead. Just a bow, not handshake. Thank you.
I can give it to him. I can give it to him.
When he lost election, nothing has happened.
Dr. Yadon? Dr. Yusuf Tango Sununu. Doctor, you know, I met you earlier in my office, and when I came to the House of Reps, I met you. Are you representing somebody or yourself? You are the one? Yes. I know I met him there. Congratulations. Congratulations. Please just give us a brief resume of yourself, and then the rest, my colleagues will direct.
The most distinguished Senate President, the Deputy Senate President, the body of the principal officers, distinguished senators of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I must also recognize the 3 senators from my state, Senator Adamu Aleru, whom I have been his personal physician for the past 25 years. Also, Senator Garba Meleki and Senator Yahya Abdullahi, and the Executive Governor of Kebbi State that is also here with us this morning. Distinguished Senate President, I was born 56 years ago. I attended Ingeski Primary School, from where I proceeded to Government Science Secondary School Yauri, finished in 1986. I then proceeded to University of Usman Dan Fodio University, Sokoto. However, due to certain circumstances, the whole of our set was transferred to University of Maiduguri, where I graduated in 1996. I served in Government House Ado Ekiti in 1999, and I came back to Kebbi State, where I served for 6 months at General Hospital Argungu. From there, I was transferred to be in charge of Government House Clinic and personal physician to the then Executive Governor of Kebbi State, Senator Muhammad Adamu Aleru. After 5 years, I proceeded to do my specialization, and I became a consultant obstetrician and gynecologist in 2010. From there, I came back to the services of Kebbi State government. Thereafter, I got transferred to Federal Medical Center at Brunin Kebbi, where I also proceeded to learn and practice minimal access surgery in gynecology as a subspecialty. In 2019, I voluntarily resigned my appointment and contested for the post of a member of House of Representatives, and I got elected. I was in the House for 4 years and then got re-elected in 2023. During my stay in the House, I served as the Chairman House Committee on Healthcare Services, and in the 10th Assembly, I was also elected to the same post. Mr. President, sir, over the last 4 years, I came to realize that the burden in healthcare delivery is serious in the country, and there is need of a special consideration to be given to health. And I also realized in the last 4 years, there is, for health to be safe in this country, there must be a very good alignment between legislature and the executive, and I think that's the best way we can go out. And also we need to reprioritize and restore confidence, because right now the major problems in healthcare delivery has to do with confidence. Mr. President, sir, it will interest you to know that people will leave primary health center next to their door and move for many kilometers to go and waste time just to be consultant for malaria. And also we will realize that even in the tertiary hospitals, the confidence, especially of the elite group, is also not there. So what is needed is to see how we can organize the healthcare, and I believe the basic way we can do that is to strengthen our national health insurance in the country. And behold, I also participated actively in drafting further legislative activities that made it possible to have National Health Insurance Authority in the country. And I believe that with Senate, there are areas that I know, even Mr. Senate President made a comment when I was listening, the issue of indigent people. It is my appeal that the National Assembly will consider the need for indigent fund to be so encroached in our budgetary line, and that will go a long way in sustaining the addition. Mr. Senate President, I'm a passionate believer of girl-child education and girl rights. Just recently, child education has been a problem in my constituency. And since I came and I was voted, Mr. President, I've been shouldering about 700 girl-child education through my girl-child support in terms of scholarship support. Mr. President, also reduced maternal mortality that has been so drastically affected in my constituency. I introduced free cesarean section, and as of today, we have operated over 2,895 women free of charge, and I also came with policy of restoring site for 500 patients, and Your Excellency, I bold say that so far we have done 517, and we are planning to do another 200. By and large, I quite believe that in terms of the strategy of healthcare delivery in the country, the primary healthcare system must also be reintegrated and also must be addition. And there is going to be good of alignment. What I realized over the time is that at times legislation are passed with a federal character aimed to be at national, and the state are not carried along, and you find that buying in of the state governments become very, very difficult. For example, the Basic Healthcare Provision Fund that had been mentioned is a provision in the 2014 National Health Act of Nigeria. And Your Excellency, you find that the counter fund becomes so much difficult for state to pay. Therefore, even at our own level as the committee, we have to come with a strategy that we are going to see how the state can get buy-in. And then on final note, I quite agree that alignment is very, very important. I want to cite a very good example of where alignment has functioned very well. Mr. President, when the COVID-19 came, it became a serious issue. And I believe that is what the major challenge that faced healthcare delivery in the country. In order to attempt, when we came, we only have 4 molecular laboratories that can diagnose COVID-19. When the the supplementary budget came, it came with a policy of having at least 3 molecular laboratory per state and per geopolitical zone. And the question raised by our committee then was, who will be responsible in terms of manpower? Who will be responsible in terms of management and control? And the answer really became obvious that there is a serious gap. Because of the alignment between National Assembly and this thing, we had a review meeting, and that budget was now appropriated to take care of the 54 tertiary general hospitals in the country. And as today, one would be proud to say that every tertiary hospital of the federal government can diagnose and handle the issue of molecular diagnosis in the country. So also through that alignment, we have isolation centers and intensive care units all over the country. And therefore, I quite believe that where there is good understanding, amendment to benefit the country is something that is not only feasible, but can be easily done. I therefore also want to use this opportunity to thank Mr. President for finding me very worthy to be given the chance to serve as member of Federal Executive Council of Nigeria, and also to thank all those that have mentored me over the time to be where I am today. And I must be grateful that over the last 4 years in the House, I have learned a lot and I've learned a lot to do. On this note, I want to thank you very much for giving me this rare opportunity to appear before you to present myself as a nominee of Mr. President for the appointment as a Federal Executive Council member. Thank you very much.
The Right Honorable Dr. Yusuf Tango Sununu, I must thank Mr. President for your nomination on behalf of the Senate, and to say that, yes, we are just screening. We are not confirming yet. We'll still take a look at your resume, and if there is any petition or others in totality in closed session before we come out with the confirmation and approvals. So, but for now, we believe strongly that your nomination shows the importance the current president places on healthcare delivery, because you are the second person we are interviewing today who has a lot of knowledge in different aspects of health. I've seen, yes, I think the six medical doctors. The last person that came was an expert in nephrology. You know, something about kidneys and all that. And I've done a lot in that direction. And you just confirm here now that you have done over 2,000 cesarean sessions almost free of charge for your people. So we want to plead that God Almighty will continue to imbue you with good health and with a heart for humanity to contribute more. And if confirmed by this Senate, please take the same zeal that you serve your community, your federal constituency, into serving the entirety of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. You may now step forward, take a bow, and go back. Distinguished colleagues, we have before us Honorable Savannah Beatrice Gisalo from the FCT. Our brother, we have your resume, but if you would like you to do a summarized version of your resume, and if you have anything else to add that is not contained in the resume, and you want Nigerians to know, you go ahead and say so. But I must say that since the inception of the current democratic practice in 1999, I think this is the first time we are having the Federal Capital Territory being given a ministerial slot. And for this, we must commend the current president, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who has come in to correct the wrongs of the past. I can see you are accompanied by veterans, including our very distinguished brother. When he joins our party, I'll mention his name. You have the floor.
Go ahead. The President of the Senate, a man we cherish, the Deputy Senate President, my own Senator, Iroti Kinkibe, Your Excellency, permit me, let me mention some of my colleagues that I was a member of Assembly 7 and Assembly 8. I've seen Senator Tambal, who was my speaker. I've seen Barry Mbi. I've seen Mangono, Senator Darlington. I've seen, Your Excellency, I didn't meet the Deputy Senate President, but I know he's a member of the House of Reps. And some of them, that even when I was a chairman, I know them of local government. But let me still mention, the minority leader, Manko was my colleague in Assembly 7, Sunday Karimi, Senator Onao, Senator Kawo, Senator Solomon, Mangono, Senator Sunday. I've mentioned your name, sir. I'll mention your name. And some of you, sir. The leader. We are all in Assembly 7. Senator Bami Dele. Let me mention the only man from Borno State, so. Yes, sir. Your Excellency, the Senate President, let me put it in this way. Let me use this opportunity to thank Mr. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, and the Vice President, Senator Shetima Kassim, for nominating me from FCT to be part of Federal Executive Council. It is a history that the good people of FCT will never forget this gesture. Mr. President, distinguished senators, my name is Zafanaya Bitu Gisalo. I'm a member of the Order of the Federal Republic, MFR. I'm born into the family of Mr. and Mrs. Kusa Gariki Gisalo. I'm from Gariki village in Abuja Municipal Council of the Federal Capital Territory. I'm a grandson of His Royal Highness Gisalo Daudu Sape Gariki, Abuja, his blessed memory. Your Excellency, distinguished senators, the Holy Bible of Zephaniah describes my name as the Lord mighty save. I'm married to Mrs. Zephaniah Florence Gisalo. I'm blessed with 3 children. 1, Kusa Solomon Zephaniah Gisalo, Justice Zephaniah, and the only daughter, Anne Zephaniah Gisalo. She's a student of a medical student in one of our universities. Your Excellencies, let me mention that I was a local government chairman Abuja Municipal Council in 2000. I started in INEC 1990 to 2002, and I left INEC to join into politics, and I become the chairman Abuja Municipal Council for 6 years. Your Excellencies, I left AMAC to come to the Green Chamber. I was elected as a member of Parliamentary Assembly 7, 2011 and 2015. I served in so many committees. If I can mention appropriation, constituent outreach, Niger Delta NDCC, FCT Area Council and Auxiliary Matters, Committee of Defense, Committee of National Security and Intelligence, and Committee of Sport. I'm also a member of Assembly 8. I have served as the Chairman Committee on FCT Area Council and Auxiliary Matters. Also served in Committee of FCT, Committee of Nigeria Army, Committee of Custom Service, Committee on Federal Capital Commission, Committee on Water Resources, Committee on Public Account, Committee on Public Safety and Intelligence. I also serve in the ad hoc committee on Constitution Review. Your Excellencies, I'm happy that I was a candidate of the All Progressive Congress, APC, of the Federal Capital Territory in 2019 general election. I lost to my brother, Senator Philip Aduda. He also lost recently. He's here with me. Your Excellency, the Senate President, I was honored by Mr. President to be the coordinator of APC Presidential Campaign Council 2023 general election, Tinubu Shetima general election. So I was the coordinator who coordinated the election of the FCT, and were able to defeat at least the PDP in FCT that we think they are the one leading the FCT. I'm happy. Well, Labour, I don't want to mention. Your Excellency, Your Excellency, the Senate President, I'm happy. I'm from this home, Parliament. I will not forget this home. Wherever I go, I know that I know where I come from. Thank you very much.
Distinguished colleagues, you have the nominee in front of you. Do not mind the time. We'll close before 12 midnight. So it's important that we do a thorough job. And I didn't want to mention Senator Aduda, but he's the one that said Senator Aduda lost. But I don't think he lost. Otherwise, he wouldn't be here. He came here because he's very happy with the fact that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu won. So, distinguished Senator Aduda, thank you for supporting the president and supporting the nominee. This had always been your prayer, that the FCT should have a nominee. Now, FCT has a nominee. The confirmation or rejection is left to the Senate. and we shall communicate it to you in due course. But is there anybody that has a question? Okay. We must be sensitive to the feelings of our colleagues. Distinguished Senator Hajia Kingibe, you want to ask a question?
Standing Order 10, I'm Distinguished Senator Ireti Kingibe, not Distinguished Senator Hajia Kingibe. Just light correction on my name. And I would like to commend and support my nominee.
Stop. You correcting the interpretation of your name by the Senate President? Because our rule is very clear. Our rule is clear that it's the Senate President that does the interpretation of our rules. So if I interpreted your name to include Hajia, are you questioning the interpretation by the Senate President? Anyway, you can proceed.
I would like to, first of all, congratulate my nominee and all of FCT for this nomination. We are all extremely happy and proud. We would like to thank the President and the Vice President for actually making this a reality, something we have been wishing and hoping for a very long time. I would also like my distinguished colleagues that my nominee comes highly recommended. I have known him for so many years. Before he became local government chairman, he went through 2 terms. After that, 2 terms in the House of Rep. So he is well known to me and definitely qualified to be minister. And therefore, I will urge all of you, according to the protocol that we have been following, that as a member of the House 2 terms, that he should also take a bow. And that's what I want to say. We are so happy that I'm actually speechless, which you all know I'm never speechless. Thank you very much.
Distinguished Senator Ireti Kingibe. And my distinguished colleagues, is it the view of the Senate that the nominee should take a bow? Distinguished colleagues, we have before us Prince Abubakar Audu Jr. If we have your resume, if there is anything that you want to add to your resume to enable the Nigerian public know about you, and also our distinguished brothers and sisters, please go ahead. The floor is yours.
Go ahead. Your Excellency, the Senate President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, distinguished Senator Godswill Obot Akpabio. Your Excellency, the Deputy Senate President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Senator Barau Jibrin. Your Excellencies, distinguished senators of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Your Excellency, Mr. Senate President, with your permission, I would like to specifically acknowledge the senators from my state, the 3 senators from my state. I'd like to start with the senator from Kogi Central Senatorial District, Senator Abubakar Sadiq Ohere. Then I'll move to the senator from the Kogi Western Senatorial District, Senator, distinguished Senator Steve Karimi. And